talking. Okay. Okay. Good morning, traders. Welcome to Trade Setup and the morning playbook. So we'll get up and racing. It's a bit cold here. We should have a heater on, but hands are freezing. Anyway, let's get up and racing. US last night, same old story, led higher by a few key stocks on the NASDAQ. We've got Amazon, I think it was up 1.4%. There's Apple that was up nearly 4%. Tesla did give up some gains, and I think it was Zoom. Zoom literally zoomed higher. So you've got basically a handful of stocks still that continue to, okay, Bobby, continue to support the NASDAQ, which continues to support the S&P as well into new all-time highs. So they're just chugging away. There was really, like I said in the morning report, it was more of a buy the dip mentality, except for the NASDAQ, which there is no dips at the moment. It's just charging higher. So they opened up. So European markets were under pressure. US opened up and straight up from there. So NASDAQ didn't even bother pulling back. So it's sort of brushing aside anything that's happening anywhere at this stage. And people are just diving in headfirst into, things like Tesla when they've had a stock split, and Apple just had a stock split and was up, like I said, 4%. So fundamentally, technically, it doesn't make much sense. Problem is, it's still dragging the markets higher. So don't fight the trend and go with the flow. I just thought I'd point out, which I haven't alerted, I was just pointing out the US yen. I think that looks like, the US dollar continues to plug higher. We might get that fade down to this level around 105.60. So I just sent an alert on Discord to probably looking to sell it pretty much where it is at 188, 105.88. So we'll see 20-point stop just above. Looks like it's rolling here, holding below the MAs. If it can hold, maybe sit through a pullback, see if it can push down to this zone. First partial would be around 105.63, 65, thereabout. 20 points, 1 for 1, and then just we'll manage the risk from there. So that was that. We've got numbers out today. Aussie market GDP at 11:30. Our market got smacked around yesterday, right from the open. So it's pretty much a big sell from the open, and it never really held up. It tried to fight its way back, but then it got knocked about, and it got sold off back into the close. So it ended up down over 100 points, I think. So it's not looking so great. US dollar was heading south. It got supported around the 91.70 zone and bounced basically just into the US Open. So I think the US Open, it bounced, and then we had numbers out in the US as well. On an hourly chart there, let's just look at this here. So that was a support through, early Asian session, late Asian session, held up, and then bounced. So everything's working quite nicely for the US, but Europe doesn't look too keen. They've had inflationary numbers which were lower. So that leads analysts to expect they're going to have to pump out some more stimulus. Now, they've already said they're not cutting rates again. They don't want to cut rates, which means more bond buying into European to try to further stimulate growth. We'll see how that goes. So that's the dollar index. From here, it looks like it could bounce. We get some sort of action like this, maybe. We've got jobs out tonight in the US. Unemployment, which is not the big number, and the big number will be Friday, which is the payrolls number at Friday at it's 10:30. So it's the first Friday of every month, which is this Friday. So we might be sort of banging around on the US dollar waiting to see what happens with employment. Wouldn't expect it to be too bullish on employment data, but the market's going to surprise. It's like it'll watch really crappy bullish employment data go sideways. As soon as something positive comes out, off they go again. So it's brushing aside any sort of weak numbers, and that's probably a fact that the bulls are out, bears have given up. I mean, they want to see, which is not good, because that means that if the sell-off does come, which I still do expect it's going to come. It's just things are getting way too stretched. If it comes, it's going to be sort of out of nowhere. You're not going to get anything to work off into a resistance zone and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be hard. So it's the shoulders that are going to be important, which might mean you have to give up a lot of gains to make sure that you're in the right area. But look, we'll just have to see how that plays out. So when the bears have sort of disheartened, which in all fairness is pretty is going to happen. When the market keeps ticking high, you've got fundamental data, which is in the US is pretty rubbish. Europe's pretty rubbish. Not looking great yet. US is going high. I think the Europe. If you look at Europe, oh, sorry, that's a Dow. Dow's going to be new all-time highs again soon. Dragged up by the Nasdaq, which keeps chugging away into new highs. That's the S&P. Again, S&P the same. Down on the open slightly. Bit of a buy the dip there. Right in the open, bang, up we go. Supported by some half decent numbers out in see the window. Oh, what can you? Oh, I don't know how to do that, to be honest. Let me just see. Oh, there we go. Does that work? Sorry, I didn't even know that was coming up. I thought it was just on my screen. Anyway, that might help. I'll put it down here. I can't go any lower. That'll do. Good. Thank you very much for that. You learn something new every day. All right, so this is the S&P. So we got that still chugging away. Well and truly established uptrend into new all-time highs. If you go and look at, say, the DAX, it is going higher, but you sort of get this spike higher, then it's getting selling pressure up a bit, and it's not taking out the highs with any significant push. Okay, so we're getting this sort of pop up, and then it's rolling. Getting a bit of selling that's going to go again. So whether that sort of theme continues, but we've got up near these highs, which it's struggling. It is, like I said, it's a grind up on the DAX. The UK is not looking so flash. That's looking a bit different. That's a grind lower. Okay, so we're right in that support zone. So those two indices are not showing the same optimism as the US is. And again, they're not led higher by 3 or 4 or 5 stocks. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now, XJA, we'll just take a quick look at. It's that 6,200 zone, which is a problem. And it looks like maybe we just got to, don't know what those numbers are, pre-open, all right. So it looks like it's got knocked down, and we're just looking to see if that finds support like it has previously, and we start to push back up to 62 from here. What I'll do before I forget is just go over the intraday market stuff we're looking at. So this is a 5-minute chart on the Nikkei. We're looking at, it was sitting right at this level, 23,207 into the open. It's gapped up on the open and sold back down. So there's a potential, if we can hold this level, we may have to close the gap. But if we can sort of hold in here and get some high later work off, there could be a run up to, what is going on here? There could be a run up to 23,375 on the cards later today, which, if it's the case, it's about 100 points, so we should be able to nab something out of that. If that plays out, if we just start to, if it's a bit of a flush at that level and we start to grind lower, it's not a key major level. It's just where it's failed a few times. We held this inside level. You can see through around 23,130, held that, launched us through, but we've held inside levels before and popped up and then been sold off again. So is this time any different? We don't know. We just have to wait and see. If it starts to, you find support and the selling's run out of steam, it's getting soaked up by the buyers, then we're looking for that rally, the entry off a lower time frame chart. This is the 5-minute, by the way. SPY's about to open. I'm expecting it really to get through that 59, 58 zone. Just to wash out, it's got a few, there will be some sells packed up there, sell orders, sorry, some buy stops packed up there for sure. The market's going to want to trigger them off. Yeah, we do equities, so we're generally not in the morning playbook is just sort of focused on key markets to where to look for some opportunities. Join in on Monday. Monday, more than happy to chat about it. It's about an hour stream. So yeah, jump in there, and then or you can email through some stuff that you want to have a look at to support at tradesetup.com.au, and we'll go have a look at that. Yeah, cool, fantastic. So look, there we go. That's popped up through. It's whether it can stick that level. The SPY will sometimes, if it's going to go, it just goes bang, off she goes, and it's to jump on the move gets kind of hard. I mean, so if you're going to buy it randomly on the open, um, there's a chance it just turns around back and fill. Okay, so it's kind of a tougher one to trade. I find the SPY. Like I said, it's if we get some sort of opportunity like this to work off a higher low during the day, you're getting this kind of action. Bang! Was that during the day? That's late last night. Where's the action from yesterday? Oh, won't worry about that. The Dow, we're just looking for that to continue on up to 28.7868. It's too close not to target that level, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's also in the profile there. There you go. So I'm expecting that to pop up to 28.768 just because the Dow likes to do that, likes to keep grinding higher. And you've also got this key level which is held at 28.380, flushed it a few times, held. We've held these inside levels which you can see. So that trend up is well intact. Expecting that to continue, and it's been held at 28.630 for now. Last one, Hang Seng, which is our key one to look at. This level here, 25.225, it just mucked around there yesterday, didn't do too much. We had this bit of a flush down of the lows, ramped straight back up into those highs, and then could not continue on. The longer term MAs are down, but we've got this higher low that we're working off around 25.15, say. Okay, just off that level there, it's traded back in there. So whether or not we start sticking below that level, I wouldn't mind to see if it tests it. Don't forget, we're not worried about right now. This is CFD action. We want to take a note of what the futures action. So we'll be chatting about that in our Discord channel at around 11. So if anyone needs a link, just email the support line and we'll send you out the link. It's actually in the alert as well. And then we'll chat about the futures and levels and stuff like that a bit better. And also, I just want to touch on yesterday's action. What happened, what played out yesterday, because I was reviewing it last night. There wasn't too many opportunities, next to no opportunities. It was a really choppy session. There's probably one. In hindsight, it was an easier trade to look at as we sold off, but just to chat about, I completely missed it, to be honest. So the Hang Seng, if we can hold that level under that low, that might trigger some sell-off and push through 24.973, and it could be, whether or not we have a decent move on the cards with a bit of flush at that level and then drop. We'll wait and see. There we go. And the fact that we've moved up into this zone at 25.855 and been hit quite heavily, that trend up was being held here, and we went straight through it. We've been chopping around here. We can't get a bit of a momentum push up. It seems to be struggling. So if that's the case, we're either going to jam down soon, or we're just going to trade up. This is going to be a higher low. We're going to trade back up there. It's just whether we can get up through that level around 25.275. All right, so that's probably about it. Not much else to talk about. You've got the US dollar sort of the key thing at the moment, and that's just trading. It's down slightly. Just on the open today. So whether we get this move up, we get a bit of a flush at that, whether this low holds, all these sorts of questions, whether it gets put under pressure. We'll just wait and see. All right, guys, we'll finish it up there. Like I said, any questions, feel free to send us an email, support@tradesetup.com.au. I'll be on the Discord channel at 11, just chatting through some intro actions, see what we get. I'll probably be in and out today. I've got the kids home, so we're doing the home schooling, which makes things difficult. So hopefully we can get something on today, intraday, and see if we can get a bit of a push, especially on the Hang Seng. All right, so at the moment, where's the SPY at? Just see where that SPY at before we leave. Yeah, we'll just see if we can reject that level. It'd be interesting. You're going to get flushes when you got a level that's 1, 2, 3 times it's traded up there. You're going to get a flush there when you're just sitting just below it. It's whether it can hold that level and we don't get selling. The fact that we were down 100 points in the ASX yesterday, you're probably going to get some bargain hunters because everyone wakes up, sees the Dow up, 200 points, and it's just traditional. They buy. Looking, especially after that sort of move, there could be some sort of bargain hunting today on the ASX. All right, guys, we'll finish it there. Thanks for joining me, and we'll speak to you again tomorrow at 9:40. All right, enjoy your day.